Former Congressman Frank Wolf of Virginia believes, quote, "We will see the end of Christianity if nothing is done to protect Christians and Yazidis in northern Iraq." He has drafted a report with his policy recommendations on how to protect them. Joining us now is the former Congressman Frank Wolf of Virginia. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You've just returned from Iraq. I know in April I witnessed firsthand the plight of Christians there when I traveled through those just terrible war-torn cities. Tell us about your trip, what you saw.
Well, I saw what you saw. We went into Bartella, we were in Mosul and Karakush, and we met with all the leaders of the Christian community, the Yazidi community. And quite frankly, there's hope in the sense they want to go back. The number one issue is protection. They need protection. They need a American military base to train their people, to train their police. They need infrastructure. They need water. But they need us to be involved. Secondly, if we don't do anything, we'll see the end of Christianity. We'll see continued persecution of Yazidis. As this moment, there are 3,000 Yazidi women and girls who are still being held by ISIS. And lastly, you will see an Iranian crescent where the Iranians will have a land corridor coming from Iran to Iraq to Syria to Lebanon with a port on the Mediterranean. So this is the time for the administration to have fresh eyes on a target, a new approach, and a new team to take the leadership.
Fresh eyes are what you recommended in 2005. You created a study group on U.S. policy, and now you're saying the same thing needs to happen.
And it was working, and
what happened?
Well, it was working, and we don't have any criticism in the report, but quite frankly, when the troops were withdrawn in 2011, we lost our intel, we lost everything. The troops should have never been withdrawn. ISIS reestablished and came back then. So I think the previous administration did make a mistake on withdrawing those troops. We need a new approach. How do you protect the Christians? What do you do for the
safe
Yazidis?
Zone? Do you give them safe zones?
Well,
that's what In Defense of Christians is saying.
Well, I think that's an option. I think you need to get all the groups together. They have to be together. The Yazidis, the Christians, everyone had to come up with an idea. But this can be done. I'm optimistic if America provides the leadership and the resources, also the West. If they do not, I believe we will see this thing set up, the end of Christianity, quite frankly, in 3 or 4 years. And we'll know that, quite frankly, by this Christmas.
You're not the only one who's saying that. Archbishop Warda said that to me. He's the Archbishop of Erbil, and he's helping help with these Christians. One other thing that you said you wanted to see happen is that Representative Chris Smith, who is a friend of the program here, and also someone with whom you have worked for years and years and years, once passed H.R. 390
Correct.
in the House, and it's looking to go to the Senate. What would that do specifically?
That's my number one recommendation. Chris Smith is one of the best members of Congress I've ever served with. We've traveled together in many places. So what his bill does is sets aside and put the Congress on record with this pot of money that can be used for helping the rebuilding of water treatment, electrical equipment, hospitals, and helping people. The passage of that quickly by the Senate when they come back in a week and a half is very, very important. And then a fresh eyes and a new team to look at this and solve the problem so we will have Christians in that community long after you and I are gone. Otherwise, it'll be over.
Thank you for joining us, former Congressman Frank Wolf of Virginia.